Alright, back to Carthago, where things went pretty grim last time. I'm sure it won't go quite so bad this time.
Caesar is presently returning from a trip to Carthago.
Yes, I'm sure he is, but that's not our concern at all. So, Carthago, where times are bad, and I still believe that the correct thing to do is just to raise the place. Well, actually, most of the place. Fun thing is you are not really... it's not really worth your while to get rid of some buildings because they can't be destroyed. As in, they won't fall down from not being maintained. And it does cost money to remove things, so let's try and be just a little bit stringent with that. Because we faced quite a few troubles last time. If memory serves, the barracks can never fall down, so let's check it out. Okay, I guess I'm completely wrong with that. Goodbye, barracks. Goodbye just about everything around here. Including the roads, because nah, no need for you. So, what mistakes were made last time? I did not get an army up and on the go fast enough. That was one of the worst mistakes I made. Keeping you around is also a terrible mistake. I also did not accommodate enough trade when I played last time. Like I said, all these problems are just going to melt away this time, so... No, I'm trusting the audio is a-okay. If it ain't, then, well, it's your job to let me know. So, first things first, I'm going to check what the native risk is. It ends there, so I can't put any of my marble quarries closer than that. It's like 2 blocks down from there, so I'll keep that in mind. In fact, I can even look at it whilst I do this. So I want as many marble quarries as I can get. And I can get quite a few. The reason I want so many is because, and I wasn't really paying attention to this last time, ugh, lousy migrant is getting in my way. And this is just going to be tent city, I don't even care. Might throw down a few small wells, and that's about as far as I go. So I think I can squeeze one more of you in here. Because I need money. Boy, do I need money. Lack of money kills me. That should be plenty. I want it to be a single loop here, that's the thing. But I also need to get plenty of people. Alright, we'll see how we do with that. But like I said, it's just getting filled with tents. Because I barely even care. But it is imperative that there are plenty of prefectures. If there are no prefectures, this is all going to go to pot, as we say. To the point where I want 3 prefectures. Might seem like overkill. Too bad, it's what we're getting. Of course, there's no point in having all of these if there's no warehouse to store the marble. Marble is produced very slowly, so I don't mind the warehouse being quite far away. So there we go. So got to accept only marble, nothing but. Furthermore, we need a marble trade route set up straight away, even if it's expensive. The reason we need that is because the natives are going to trade with us. Heavens no, we ain't exporting this garbage. Anything more than 10 units. To add to that, I'm not going to tax my people, and I'm going to pay them quite a bit above Rome standard because I need them to be happy. They're not going to be very happy living in huts, and they're only mildly pleased with me, which ain't good enough. So far, not so bad. I'm probably going to get rid of this. The only resource we have are marble quarries, so there's no problem in cutting down all the trees that there are. I'm going to set up... I want this little opening here for the natives to come trundling in through. So I'm also going to set up, I don't know, this bunch of houses here. Because I need an army. As long as I have an industry and an army, I'll be good to go. So we're going to keep going. I'm being told that the music is a wee touch too loud. Fortunately, we have the power to change that. And if it still ends up too loud, you just let me know.
Could you spare a little bread? I haven't eaten for so long.
Wouldn't be surprised if the people are loud too, but that doesn't concern me. I'm only too happy for them to be loud. So the people who didn't have a home to go to can now settle into these tents that I've set up, which is good, because there are quite a lot of people I've thrown away. It means I don't have to wait on these migrants that are coming in. And if there are little odds and ends like single tents here, I will probably throw down a little well. It only has... I can't even remember the range of a well in a desert, but it's pathetic. So it might not even be worth my while making many of them. We'll see how it goes. We shall see, because this tent graveyard isn't going to last for all that long.
No sign of crime around here.
Thank goodness. Didn't Jake get wrecked in this mission last time? Yes, I did, Lucky. I got wrecked fairly ravagely. Savagely, rather. Ah, but all this is for naught if I don't actually get these guys on my side with mission posts. So, if I recall well, the mission post has a much larger range than normal. Still, this should suffice for getting all these guys on my side. Mission post takes out of the labor pool, but it's definitely worth my time getting it up and on the go. As long as he does just fine. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Yeah, how could I forget? That's actually really bad of me. I am keeping the gods very unimpressed at the moment, so I should make an effort. Yeah, that should do me. Now we'll get some temples up and on the go. One for each. After that we can just build oracles. The thing is, I'm probably pretty short on workers. Population is minuscule right now. And of course these will all burn to the ground unless I get an engineer post and a prefecture on the go. I remember they looked so good together when I played the demo of this game over and over again. So let's flesh out our city a bit. We have plenty of employees working the marble fields. Well, the marble quarries. And soon enough we'll have a wonderful industry of marble exports, as tended to by all these tent people. Now, I'm actually surprised they're evolving, since the area around here is ugly as sin. And this will tell me the range on use. So, okay, there is actually a range of 2 on these wells. Now that is shocking. Where are we on fire? Oh, what even is this? I didn't even notice there was a tent there, and I'm not worried about it. Okay, apparently I'm too quiet, which is strange. At least I think it's a bit strange. So I'm going to come out of this for just a second. Everything will look a little funky. And then I'm going to bring up that mixer and bring the volume of Caesar 3 down from 5 to even lower. There we go. Now it's your fault if this doesn't sound good. All yours. There's the thing. It being an old game, it's pretty tricky to get the feeling for it right. And my, that fire risk goes up so fast in these desert maps. It's not even funny. So, decent population, everyone's happy enough, but if I don't get an army on the go, there's going to be a lot of very, very unhappy people. Fortunately, the barracks can go somewhere over here. And as soon as I have the money, I want a fort up and on the go. Now, I don't think the enemies are going to come from here. That's too obviously close to Rome, but I need a bunch of javelineers. And as soon as I can afford it, I want a military academy, and then more javelineers And then probably probably a mounted brigade. And we'll be good to go. Tuxmobile is asking, what is the goals for this mission? Okay, let's not listen to you there. The goal is to get a population of 6,000. Culture needs to be moderate. Prosperity needs to be, well, doesn't need to be anything really. 30 is needed. That's Casa level. Peace, that's basically a timer if anything else. And the favor doesn't need to be that bad anyway. We are at Procurator level, but I'm going to pay myself Inquisitor salary so that Caesar is impressed with me. This little dude here. He's a Long Fu the Mysterious, and because I have tamed these natives, we can see them over here. No native issues whatsoever. The native issues are over here. They will actually come and trade with me. Oh, I made the mistake that I always seem to make these days, which is strange because I never used to make that mistake. Without a doctor, people are gonna die. You absolutely need a doctor. So I got struck by plague there. Such a simple thing, but I forget it all the time. Well, it happens. So we're getting our legion on the go here, but since we're making tons of money, we can get a military academy on the go. Seems a bit of a waste to stick it here if I'm only going to be deleting it later. So let me think about that. Is this actually going to be a place that I build up in the future, or am I just going to keep it as Tent City for a while? I think we're going to keep it as Tent City for quite some time. There are better places to build up. I mean, look at this. You can get so many fishing boats out and on the go right here. Plus, I think we can produce wheat here. No, we can't. That's a bummer. That is a real bummer. Jake, what is the ETA on Hannibal? We already dealt with Hannibal. I think we dealt with him in a separate timeline. Kinda nice as I can purge one of these houses and stick a well here instead. So this place could hold 20 people, and it's probably not going to upgrade because this is ugly as sin. Yeah, they don't actually want to upgrade. I'll throw down a plaza or two, that might make them see things better. It does not. It is really unattractive living next to a marble quarry, so I can't really blame them. So we have some academy trained javelineers. I need more. I really need more. Gonna get more javelineers and then some horseback, and we'll be excellent. So what are we being told now? Enemies are closing, but we're not scared. With this, we should be able to deal with any enemies that come our way. So here we are in Carthago. So still plenty of Berbers wanting to bring us down. Those cursed peoples. So now I got this wonderful area to work with, but I can only make fruit with it, which kind of puts me in an uneasy situation. Not liking all this, not liking all this at all. Gonna keep those gardens there as a memorial to what was once. Just what was once, that's all it is. So much prime land for fishing here though. This and this and this, it all looks good. These buildings kind of get in the way, but this is some lovely land to farm with. The trouble is wheat. Wheat grows so quickly. Twice as fast as any other crop. But we actually don't have access to it, so that's very unfortunate for us. Thankfully, no matter how much the enemies are closing in, we have an army well on the way to defeating them now, so I'm not concerned. There's no real upkeep for a barracks unless you're making legionaries, and we are not. Hold on, tell me about how much you love this place.
A good day to you. Can I interest you in some top quality goods?
A bit more?
I love coming here. Business is going very well.
Listen to that guy, you should always trade with me if it is an option. So if you'll forgive how blurry the screen is looking here, I'm actually panning around trying to think the best place to set up my endeavors really, because I'm going to need a lot of food for whatever I'm about to pop up here. Thing for me is I find it very hard to predict how much food I'm going to produce by setting up wharves. I'm going to need something of a food production facility here, and I can build buildings right here, but the thing is we also have lots of food available here. Maybe I could get a double whammy going if I have a large area here. Here that joins on. Here that also joins on. Maybe they both feed into a granary. And then... Okay, well, we'll ad-lib it as we go along. Dennis is asking, how's burning the natives doing? Well, the natives are burning their wallet on me. And thankfully the enemy is closing. Yeah, they're still a while away. You can even see them on a map. Here they are. Bordering Thamagadi? Thamagadi? They're just making up names now. These guys will buy fish and fruit, but selling food is a fool's errand. Why would you ever do that? There's no good reason. It's good to know that people will buy wine and oil from us, since that's an expensive good, but we should be able to make plenty just through selling tent cities, marble exports. As our city grows, I'll start tearing down Tent City and eventually do away with it completely. Because when I build up a nice area here... I might actually be better building a nice area on all of this, since that will get me going with olives and vines earlier on. Tricky. Might be better than dealing with stinky Fish City. Because yes, I can get a lot of houses built up here. And with easy, well, easy-ish access to pottery and furniture, I should be able to build them up to large insulae easily enough. Jings, I like that idea. Lots of large insulae around here. I'll just ad-lib a design for it. Fortunately, with all this money coming in, and with an army, well, plenty of an army, really. Let's get another bunch of mounted guys on the go. This will just be where the army is. They'll be quick enough to respond to enemies no matter where they come from. Unless, of course, they come from here. That would be a real pain in the unmentionables. A little restrictive with the positioning here, but not all that bad, really. We could do a lot with this. I think if you're there... I'm just going to do a bit of repositioning so that my missionary doesn't get in the way. Feels strange using missionary like that, but it is what it is. I'm just repositioning this so I can fit in more of my farms here. I'm also going to pay attention to the way the missionary goes.
Hail! I can see there's a lot of work to be done teaching these barbarians the merits of Rome's benevolence. Hail! I can see there's a lot of greetings. My teaching of Rome's benefits seems to be sinking into these rather frightening barbarians. Hail! Greeting! I'm so glad to be Roman. You should see what these barbarians get up to in their huts.
Sounds decadent. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's able to reach these guys since it's... then again, they do have a fairly limited range. So how far is he able to get? Okay, that's not quite far enough, unfortunately. I'm going to move the whole mission post along a bit, just so he can reach both of them. Because the last thing I want is these guys tearing down my farms and such when I set them up. Look at him go. Look at that bad boy go. Just plazaing this up so these guys look a little prettier and get room for more people. Okay, where are we going from now? Just trying to plan this out in my head, because it ain't easy planning this stuff. Even though I may make it look easy. That's a joke, I don't make things look easy here. Some people like to plan by throwing down large temples. Not large temples, large statues. If anything, it's easier to do it with farms. But I wish to have as many as possible. Still, though. Hell, let's just throw them down and figure out what's for later on. I just want as much food being produced from here as possible. Is that really too much to ask? guess it's too much to ask for this native to stop standing in the way of progress. Okay, that's a lot of food. But it's actually too many. Because I won't be able to get my precious olives and such. I should keep a few of them spare for wine. Well, not wine. Wine I actually don't give a flying kahuna about, since we don't need wine. But we do need olives. Olives I can deal with later. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of these. Let's strip it down a little. Call it 17. So I can have double that number of large insulae, is what I'm thinking. So this all comes together into the old granary. Just like so. Bit of a nasty way to do it, but it's how we're doing it. I'm also going to throw up a quick... Not a fort, we have plenty of forts, but I want a gatehouse right there. And I want houses here. Now I need to think about how I'm going to set up the housing block. Little worrying that it's so close to these forts. Forts are ugly. Nobody likes living next to a fort. And the more square it is, somewhat the better. Jake, don't forget the fire brigade. Yeah, you're right about that. I need an engineer's post, and just to be safe, I want a couple of prefectures. Bit of a strain on wages and everything, but with our marble exports, we should be more than good. Also nice to see our army more than ready to repel the barbarian invaders. Still, how are we going to do this? Always for me the trickiest part, just coming up with how I meant to design a housing block. The other housing block's going to be far away there, so we should be okay. And there should be plenty of room for lots and lots of people here. So if I consider down the center as having plenty of large statues... But what is down the center? Will it stick out this way or down this way? I'm thinking down this way actually. This is a lot of dead space, so that's how we're going to do it. I'll make the shape and worry about the contents later. And I'm going to throw a reservoir right in the middle of it, because why not? There are plenty of reasons why not, but the real question is why. Is that a... whatever. I need to stop worrying about things and just do it. I'm going to have you come out the top and meet up with there. Also want to split in there. Might seem a little bad sticking it right out the top. Might seem really bad. What I'm doing might make absolutely no sense to anybody, but that's okay. I have an idea. Stick a little bit of a road here, stick an aqueduct across it, and then we're going to have the aqueduct take a different path. I really like aqueducts in this game. Might seem a strange thing to particularly like, but I do. It's also kind of risky sticking your aqueducts here. Okay, that's super risky. Let's not have it so close. Because just in case the natives do come from that angle, they're going to cause me a lot of harm. So let's do it like this. That way I don't have to have this ugly bit coming out from the top. Since we're going to have it long this way, I don't want to block off too many things. This makes no sense to me, Jake says, Lucky. Well, that's alright. I'm just trying to build a housing block here. Every housing block needs water, so I've decided to stick my reservoir right in the center of the housing block. Even though it's ugly. Well, ugly for the people living here, but that's not my quandary. That's their thing to worry about. So, 2 at the side, 1, 2, 3 in the center, and another 2 at the side. And there we go. Maybe this housing block could be longer? I'm not entirely sure. How long are you anyway? You are 200 and you're 25 long, 27 counting the edges. That should be fine. We'll worry about the details of how everything spaces out a bit later. We'll give you some...
You got through those funds quickly.
Oh, thanks, Caesar. I wasn't even paying attention to my denarii there. But sometimes Caesar just doesn't like what you do. Well, he's not going to like me because I'm ignoring his oil request for now. Well, there's no real reason that I have to ignore it. There's a thought. I could get straight to it. I didn't really leave myself much room for... Look at it from this angle. Maybe I could. If I just change the position there a little. I'm relying on a bit of luck. I always am, haven't I? But I think this could work out okay. Yeah, I think it'll work out okay. Caesar will have his oil. The greasy bastard that he is. There we go. Let's get our olives up and on the go. And a couple of oil workshops. We go even better. If I space this out a touch more. Oil and oil. With a warehouse for oil that oil. Funny, I thought I'd avoided deleting the warehouse I was looking at earlier. Guess I completely stopped doing that. Jake, why don't you build walls and towers? Because walls and towers cost quite a bit of money and take upkeep in terms of wages and that other thing that I sometimes pay attention to. I'm getting that doctor on the go before I forget, and I probably would forget. And a couple of prefectures, because hell, 3 prefectures. Let's not beat around the bush here. We're going to go up in flames. Yeah, I would just rather have a nice standing army instead of having to rely on walls and towers. How far does that water stretch? Almost far enough. I wouldn't say perfectly well, but it stretches far enough. Alright, we'll see how this is all going. For some reason you have poor access to employees, but that's just because we need more migrants. Yeah. Fountains actually take employees. Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nice. Sometimes things just work out. So there we go. These should all become large tents. And we're going to run into a spot of bother. With the gods, that is. Unless we please them a little. So I think I should throw down an oracle. I'm not sure where though. I don't want to throw it here because it's going to choke up the little space we have. But throwing it down here also seems like a bad thing to do. I'm going to do it anyway. A couple right there. Expensive and uses up my marble, but it keeps the gods satisfied for a while. So these guys, they can get a whole bunch of food from the granary. I also need to keep them happy with, well, all the everything they need. Which is going to include an amphitheater one day or another, so I may as well stick it in right now. Probably going to have another little extra place. I'm not sure what for, but we'll figure it out. They're going to need a library. They're also going to need a school. They'll need a school on both sides, so stick a library here and just preempt the need for a school there and there. So they'll have entertainment, education, food. Well, food before long. I need to get those markets on the go. Market, market. And another market, because you never have enough of them, really. Now this is going to really anger the guys living in Tent City, because Well, these fellows get food and they do not. Jealousy is bound to follow. Fortunately for me, though, I don't care. So there we go. So, oh, of course, there's no religious facilities. How could I forget? Big fan of Ceres. Let's just give her a temple and call it a day. Means we're going to delete this temple, but, too bad. And now, Vishang in chat is saying bathhouse. Nah, they're not getting a bathhouse. There's no reason to give one to them. Just trying to remind people that this game came out in the 90s. That is a gorgeous looking video for it. Looks better small though when it's really blown up. It doesn't look so good. Now we have almost completely built up our army here. I'm going to leave the other ones to continue reinforcing because whilst everybody is away, none of them will reinforce. So I'm going to put you into position whilst I think about this. This is going to pop everybody right up to the highest level I can get them. Although I also want a fountain over here, or else these guys are going to have nae water at all. Which is tricky, but I'm going to delete you because... okay, there's a bit of a glitch. There's actually black holes you can create in this game.
I've heard there are jobs here. I want to be a lion tamer.
Why ever? Anyway, there we go. Sit back, get ourselves into position. So who do we have? We've got Muhammad, Saud, Kafidi, Ahmed, yes sir, all Carthaginian soldiers. And they're all going to die. I'm going to save now, not because I'm scared of the outcome here, just that I'm scared of the game crashing. Don't think it will, but it's always heartbreaking to see such a loss. Oh god, they got elephants. That's the opposite of good. It's a bad day to be Mr. Empty Land there. Alright, you think you can get me, but you simply can't. Good for morale to beat the enemy's brains in, and we're gonna win. I mean, they will take down some of our guys, because the mounted forces fight like arse. But that's the wonderful thing, once you built up your military academy... Okay, we don't want them advancing much further, because Javelineers fight like arse. Everything fights like arse in this game, unless they're legionnaires. So we're not scared of elephants, because we can fell them with our mighty javelins. Down they go. And I don't like zebras, so they're gonna die as well. You guys get back to the fort. Okay, Caesar's getting on my case about that oil. I'm working as fast as I can, old man. I don't like that sound. Please kill them. There we go. Now I don't have to hear it anymore. So it'll take a while for these very frightened snakes to reinforce, but they will. The barracks will continue to work at maximum production. Nobody likes living next to a gatehouse, so we'll plaza it up so people feel a bit better about living there. Heck, we'll plaza the whole thing. That's how nice I am. More battles on their way, but that's okay. I'm not afraid of losing, I'll just... Oh god, they have elephants. Jake at his finest. Also, Raffle King subscribed for 19 months in a row, coming as a scary reminder that I've been streaming for quite some time now. Alright. So we're looking okay, we finally have some casas on the go. I would like for them to pay rent, but it's not worth it because it's going to make these guys super angry. So how far does that water go out? It goes out plenty far. We're going to have a lot more houses here than we currently have. I can't forget that water goes by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can do all these guys by here. In a desert province, a fountain has a range of 3. In a non-desert province, it has a range of 4. So you actually have to change your housing designs depending on if you're playing in one or t'other. Now I would also like some pottery, funnily enough. shouldn't be too untoward. I'm just clearing up some space for some pottery buildings. But the thing is, I don't just want pottery, I also want some... What am I looking for here? Help me out, internal dictionary. Pottery and timber, I need both. As do my people. So I'm gonna get one workshop for pottery and one for timber. That should be more than enough, or rather furniture. My idea is to have all of these as large insulae, and then I'll be satisfied with the outcome, but not a moment before then. Let's get you all fleshed out. Good to see my denarii going up. Good to see the population going up. Everything's just going up, as it should. Of course, I can build more along here. There is even the temptation to... Why did I even build these here? Let me think for a moment about what people buy from me. They'll buy wine and oil. Forget those, though. That's just nonsense. Okay, nobody's going to buy my pathetic produced goods like pottery and lumber, so I'm not worried about that. That's good. I don't like worrying. It's not something I want to ever do. So with that in mind, I'll let my guys enjoy some gardens. I was trying to think if there's anything I can build here, anything industrious. But, well, if I want something, I can build it later. For now, large statues do a lot of good for me here. Of course, I want this space for something else, but I'll figure that one out. There will need to be a forum later on, so I may as well stamp it down whilst we're at it. Then again, I could build houses here. Tricky. Always tricky trying to think of the ideal housing block. So as for this, it takes timber, pottery, it's also going to get furniture, and clay. Now what I'm going to do, risky though it is I'm going to start importing both. Well, how are we doing towards that? We have 7 here, 6 months to fulfill. We'll be fine. We'll get our man Caesar all of his oil. The greasy bugger. He wants wine, but there is no chance in hell he's getting wine. He's just going to have to go away. He'll be happy enough for getting his oil. And there we go. He's slightly displeased, but that's not my concern. Jake, do you have any idea how long you'll be streaming for? I'm thinking a few hours tonight, because I have got to scratch that Caesar itch quite badly. Okay, the more I think about it, the more I think I really do want to take away from the pottery and the timber situation that I have here. Not even sure if it's going to be enough to keep my people happy. Alright, it's a little ugly, but it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick another gatehouse. I'm going to stick it here. It's always horrible having these little snags out here, so for now I'm going to stick a small statue. No, better than a small statue. I'm going to stick a barber on it. Called Operation Barbarossa. This will probably grow bigger later on. I need to empty this. You no longer accept anything. And it is over here. Here? Yeah, there. You are now the furniture and pottery place. Why am I moving it over here? Because I wasn't convinced one of each of those workshops would be enough. So I'm going to put down 2 here. See, Rome's nice and happy. I sent him off what they required. Also need to get the furniture on the go here. And of course, it's a nice small place, so even 1 prefecture will do us well and good here. This poor little guy doesn't have enough desirability. I'll give him some gardens. Like I said, I'm a nice guy. Don't know why anyone would think otherwise. Also going for extra marketplaces, because I am terrible with marketplaces. I never seem to have enough. There's a way that they work, and I never figure it out all that well. But it's just growing pains. I'm sure this will be more than enough to accommodate all the people here. Jake, will you play Pharaoh on stream when you're done with Caesar 3? See, I never liked Pharaoh that much. Of all these info games, the only one that really struck me well with me was Caesar 3 because I just love Rome. It's true, I do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So I'm watching this warehouse just dribble away with all of its goodies. I'm also hoping that the gods are still satisfied. Oh, they are pretty irritated. Well, that's fine, I can deal with that. Because all it takes is an oracle or 3. 1, 2, 3. See, it only cost me marble and I got plenty of that coming in. Actually, Mercury isn't very happy. He just threw away a whole bunch of my stuff from the granary. But that's okay. There's no sense worrying about these things. How's the fire risk? Okay, so it's telling me that we are overkill on the... well, overkill on a lot of things, but also on that. We can get rid of both of you and replace you with just one engineer's post right there. See, everyone's happy. Now there's the thought. I can also put down my actor colony, an undesirable thing to live next to, and my gladiator school. Both can go here because it's going to provide them over here, and we also want a theatre right there. See, everything's going just fine. Distant battle, imperial reminder, can't worry about these things. Sooner or later these places are going to have loads of pottery, but I want to wait until I have plenty of a backlog of both of those before I start concerning myself with that. Sooner or later I might actually make a specialised pottery and furniture. Actually, if it's going to happen later, I might as well do it now. Let's be honest with ourselves. You only accept the timber and clay. The other one only accepts the finished goods. So the imported wood and clay goes into this workshop, gets turned into pottery and furniture and placed here, and then the markets go and get it whenever they need. And I always need more markets, I'm so bad with them. So I'll just throw down another one. Enemies are at the door again, so it's high time I got more javelins. Firm believer in the javelins. Got plenty of denarii to do it with anyway. And down goes another large statue, because I've got to keep all these places worth living in. So the thing is, these places are getting pottery, but they don't consume it until they reach the next level. Same with furniture, same with oil, the whole shebang. People don't use things up. Well, speaking of, I could actually start exporting some of that oil. Only when I have too much of it though, like I'm talking way too much, more than 16. I need to keep a good, sizable backlog of it there. Which means I don't need you. Just straight up don't need you. Actually, there's a slight concern that I might end up with too much of one good here. Nah, it should never get to that stage, I don't think. So we're filling up on pottery, pretty bad. If I throw down a bathhouse, I guarantee you everything is going to spring up into small insulae. Then, well, basically let's just do it and you'll see. Where can I even put my bathhouse? Where do people want baths? Smelly Romans need to bathe. I think I'm going to throw it here.
This basket is killing me. I don't care who needs the food. There should be a law against child
I love
labour.
this. I love it when you see all those buildings pop up. Just like that. They need oil, so the markets are going to go to all the oil we have here. No Legion Jake. Are they not OP in Caesar 3? They are OP, but I would need to import weapons for them, and I don't feel like spending money on that. Simple as that. Oh, I just love what I see here. They have access to oil, or rather they will get it very soon, and then pop. Large insulae, just as God intended. Now this is where things get a little brutal. I'm going to watch them all pop up nice and big. The thing is, there's not really enough space for all of them. So I'm going to start killing them, basically. These ones are going to go away. These guys are fine where they are. Nah, they'll be good. This is where it gets a little too tactical. There we go. So a dwelling will expand into a 2x2 when it hits large insulae. And I I would show it off a bit better if I wasn't currently under attack. Okay, it's great to know that they attack here, because that means when I build up here, I definitely want to keep them walled away in this position here. But we are more than ready for this. Heck, why don't we just wait until they come for us? I'm not scared of them. That said, I could mess that up badly, so let's save before that. What I'm saying is that there are... Where am I looking at here? Because I've lost my train of thought. Not enough entertainment. That doesn't sound right. Wonder if my amphitheater guy isn't going the right way right now. There must be, because they're reaching these other places. So here we have, right here, these two. Might be hard to see them. But there are some buildings here that cannot grow because they're squeezed in. But if I delete this large insulae that stands between them, they're both going to pop into large insulae, which is just what I'm looking for. Look at them go. Pop. Wonderful. And it fills my heart with elation. Gonna have the same problem right about here, where we have these guys and these guys both vying for control here. So again, I'm going to squeeze out the middle guy like a zit, and these other ones will pop into place. Kapow. Same with what we have at the end here, but I'm in two minds about how to deal with that. I could elongate everything out a bit, but then the fountain wouldn't reach. And the fountain won't reach any further than it's getting right now, so how do I deal with this? Well, I think I will be satisfied with what I have for now and delete these. So how about those enemies? Whoa, there's a lot of them. And my army is not even twice as big as it was before. Curious to see how they're going to come and attack me. I'm not scared of them. You said that in FTL2, Jake, and I paid the price. See, that's the important thing. You paid the price. I did not. So there we go. Another couple of guys that are squeezed in there. It's possible that I'll make this longer to squeeze in more of these buildings. Because if I do a quick head count, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be 10, so 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 34. And how many of these did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's dangerous. I think we may have more buildings than I'm actually ready to deal with. Still, that's not too bad of a problem to have. Kind of want them paying taxes though, because at large insulae they actually give half decent amounts of income. But this is as many people as I can reasonably feed here. And that I'm satisfied with. So was that like 34 times 84 people? It's quite a lot. Alright, so they are on the march. Now where are they going? Yeah, they're just reforming. But every moment that they take to reform is another moment that I get my trusty stallions to flesh out my army. So as long as the food keeps flowing, and I'm a little unsure about this. I'm actually not going to build these extra buildings that I said I would, because I am kind of thinking that I don't have enough food to support all of these guys. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3. 33 should be okay. Should be. Oh, Lord. Hot. Defend us. You, the mighty Roman army. Well, you're not the army, you are simply auxiliary units. But that... Oh, they're killing my traders. That's really funny, because those traders just bought stuff. Okay, so the horses, they take the front. And as long as they take the front line, the Javelineers, they're going to rain hell upon the enemy. Come and get some. See, some of them are running away because the morale of their unit got so low. Right, unfortunately, they're advancing. But we're ready for them. Not so ready for those elephants. Those elephants are going to give us a pretty bad time. But the cowards are missing out in the glory there. There we go. Elephants, their days are numbered. This is where having towers and walls really come in handy, because they mince elephants. But we took that without having too many losses. I'm sure our armies will be back up fighting strong again before we know it. Not so happy about the running out of food either, but no. This is a pretty good standard block here. Jake used the glaive beam. Yes, you can kite elephants. You can kite almost any army if you just pull back your Javelineers. Oh, even the horses are shaking because they're so scared. That's nasty. I'm trying to get the numbers right in my head here. Is this all right? So thinking about it, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fruit farms. And each fruit farm is going to produce enough food for slightly less than 2 of these. Slightly less. I think it'll be okay. As long as Mercury doesn't come and steal my food again, it should be a-okay. I'm satisfied with this. And so too should you. The people in Tent City are not going to be happy though if I check out the crime rating. Amazingly, it's law-abiding, but they probably wouldn't be law-abiding if I started charging taxes. Surprise! I'm charging taxes now. To offset that, I'm going to pay 8 above what Rome pays. But still, these guys are going to be monstrously unhappy. So there we go. This is actually a really nice block to have in this situation. It's completely self-serving. It produces its own oil, and it uses the imported... I wonder if there's a better way I can do this. Since this is actually going to be the industrial block of the area, I'm thinking to diversify it further still and have one for furniture and one for pottery. That's what I'm going to do actually. You take pottery, you take furniture, pottery, raw materials. That should be okay. To the point where I'm going to throw in an extra workshop here. Pottery and furniture, because this is going to supply the other blocks that I do. Also, I'll be honest, these stallions didn't do us too much. We're going to decommission them altogether, and I'm going to throw in a warehouse right here, and this warehouse is going to be accepting... shoot. I don't have a dock to bring in any weapons, do I? All that changes now. I know I said I wasn't going to have any Legionnaires. I lied. This is the only place that'll sell us iron. So you're going to accept iron and weapons. Which means I have to tell all my other workshops not to accept iron. And weapons for that matter. Shouldn't make too much of a difference currently, but I just want to be safe. You're definitely not, right? Good. So I'm going to have a workshop for weaponry. I think 1 will be enough, but I might as well have 2. I mean, really. And now I want to import that iron. It would be fun if I could sell it as well. I love economies where you buy and sell. As in you buy in raw goods, make it into refined goods, then sell it on. That just fills my heart with elation. And that's why we keep plenty on the back burner. Keep Caesar nice and happy. So, there we go. Buying up all that oil. And we're going to start having weapons for our new legionnaires. They'll still get stomped into jelly by elephants, but that's not my concern. Also, here we go. Starting to fear that we do not have the food for these guys. I'm going to rip down some of these buildings. Just... how did that happen? What is this guy wasting his time doing?
Could you spare a little bread? Could you spare a little bread? Could you spare a little bread?
No.
I haven't eaten for so long.
Okay, there's something nasty about the engineer here. He's taking the wrong route. And this is going to impact on my food quite badly. He's taking the wrong route around here, so I'm going to place him in a different spot. Now this is very negatively going to affect the evolution of my buildings. Jake, you forgot to disable weaponry at one warehouse. That's actually not going to be a problem. There it is. Because there's no way the weaponry can get from here to there. I just like to have it nice and neat. Alright, so actually I lost my olive production as well, which is no good. Also lost our music. But we can change that. Yeah, these places are devolving because food isn't getting around. That's why I was afraid that I had too many buildings here. It's entirely possible that my calculations were off as well. But as the food comes in, and it shall come in, there's also the slight problem that there is a risk of not getting enough. There is. This is the problem with my food. Okay, all has become clear. And all must be solved straight away. I can solve this somehow. By building a house here. A single solitary house here will solve all of my problems. Of that I am confident, as long as they're given clean water. Okay, so to explain the issue that I'm having here, which probably won't make much sense to many people, but I'm going to try anyway as soon as I've finished building this here. Ka-ching. So, the granary is not filling up as fast as I would expect. The reason is that these farms are running out of labor quite quickly. The reason they're running out of labor is because these little guys they send out...
Could you spare a little bread?
Yeah, the hungry
I haven't eaten
guys.
for so long.
They walk out to try and find labor, and if they walk past a building, then fine, they get the labor. The more buildings they walk past, the better. Anybody who kind of walks along this road will walk past these two buildings and they'll get plenty of labor, more than they could need. But the problem is these guys are going this way, around here, and they're only just touching at the side of this, so they're not getting enough labor access. I'm building this building right here. It will hopefully expand into a 2x2 and flesh out this area so that everybody will be getting the labor that they need. This is my hope, at least. Might all go Pete Tong, as things oft do. I'm fairly confident it won't. I mean, I'm going to throw down an oracle just to improve the likability of living near. Because this house is going to be very unattractive next to a granary, oil refinery. It's going to be smelly. But they will move in. They'll get access to everything they need. Everything they need. Not liking the lack of bathhouse access they're getting, though. Ooh. A lot of things I'm not liking here. Oh well, I'm a generous guy. Have another bathhouse. Oh, heavens. Remember when I said this could be a problem with having my aqueducts here? I sense we're going to have a big problem. Yes, a big problem. That's a nasty place to have an invasion, right by my food source. Oh well. Ah, shoot. Right, they cut off the water supply. This I can remedy somehow. If I kill the school... Yeah, never would have thought that would be the solution to anything. If I kill the school... Oh man, they're breaking down my everything. It's gonna get messy there, but the battle is not my concern here. My concern is getting water back to my plebs. Seems to be a problem in deleting, or rather building this aqueduct. There we go. There we go. This is going to go really very badly for me. Legionnaires, I need you now more than ever. That is the sound of death and destruction, folks. Alright. Kill them to death, lads. Oh no, there are too many of them. Bringing my city to its knees. Okay, Caesar has seen what has happened to me and decided that I should go in a boat far away. Thanks, Caesar. Caesar does many things. Sure, I'm glad we saved that now. So now, safe in the knowledge that the things that I was talking about can and will go wrong, we can deal with it ahead of time. Damn though, I never thought they'd pop up there. Caesar's enforcing that Swedish vacation time on you, Jake. Yeesh, that's harsh. Okay, this time we're going to be ready for these guys coming here instead of waiting for them to get to us and therefore hurting our actual units. Get all these guys here in advance. We're going to remember that the engineer has some head problems. We're gonna get our dock up and on the go. Oh, the music is so good when you're getting invaded. Like I said, I need that iron for my legionnaires. Trying to remember what, if anything, I messed up on, or rather I changed between this and that and the other thing. Yeah, both of these guys had to pop away. Getting rid of you. Getting rid of lots of people here, because people are the worst. Okay. We are born to kill. Now, I should be able to attract the attention of some of... Okay, well, I already got some of them. That's fine. You guys get back, please. Before you die. Don't want to get flanked. We can take care of that. As long as you have sufficient javelins coming in, even the crappy horsemen can take care of things. It would be nice if the natives helped me out a touch here, but I guess they don't really roll like that. There we go, jings. We should be a lot better prepared than that in the future. So there are 4 of you and 6 of you. The one that there are 4 of, go away, because I need legionnaires by my side now. I also need to be ready for these guys coming in from this direction. So I'm going to demolish the school, because that's my kind of thing. And going to get the aqueduct coming out on this side. That way I don't have to worry about it getting demolished, and it will get demolished. Alright, that should be okay. Should being the operative word, and always is. I wonder about the bathhouse lady, though. Sometimes people cut corners. By people I mean the people that are walking around here giving building access. And they'll cut corners, and that won't allow people like this guy who is 2x2 away from the corner to receive their services. It's very important that they do, because otherwise these farms are not going to get the labor that they require. So I need this guy to get access. I mean, I could settle for something else, but I really want him to get access. I can check by going health, baths, and following the bath lady. Okay, no, she does take the corner properly. So this should pop into a large insulae and supply all these guys with everything they need. Knowing that is the case, I can drop all these aqueducts. Damn you, Caesar, always getting in my way and killing my sound. Let's get another save of Marvin going. Not that I would ever dream of same scuffing right. And now I gotta think about this situation. Well, it's horrible to know that it is what it is, but that is something I can work around slightly. Let's get some towers on the go. They're expensive, and they consume, well, they consume a number of things. And they are not any good unless they get access to labor. I'm not talking politics here. Which is a bit of a shame, actually. I don't want to have to build up a separate labor area just for them to get access to it. Actually, I really don't. I don't want to be so cheap that I gotta do that to defeat their armies. Of course, not doing it's probably gonna get me killed, but whatever. I'll give them a reasonable wall, and that's all they're getting. Jake, won't you get any legionnaires without weapons? Oh, I've got weapon production on the go now. So we shall slowly but surely get our exceedingly well-trained legionnaires on the go. The trouble is, this is such a horrible point for them to come in, because I can't defend it very well at all.
My governors think money grows on trees.
Man, what happened to all my money? Be forgiven for thinking things are going badly. Oh, that's right, I never started taxing, which is something I did in the previous version. You know, before that horrible thing that came to me. There you go, get some forum on the go, and get some income. Drag ourselves out of debt one way or another. Now, there is also the fact that I'm importing all these goods that eats into my budget. So yeah, they still have poor access to employees. Well, I can somewhat solve that just by throwing down crappy tents. It's the worst possible solution in my eyes, but it's a solution. I'm not looking forward to them invading this side again, because I have so little to defend it with. Guess we'll get rid of these altogether, since they kind of get in the way. When are they going to strike, though? Because I am not ready at all for it. Enemies at the door in July, expected within a year. I should probably just have these guys preemptively ready to kill them. This is where the joke of them appearing in a completely different place happens. Okay, we've got a good thing going here then. They've all merged together very nicely for me. Now, unfortunately, when you leave your armies standing out here like this, they take morale damage, which means they might be fine now, but they are dropping in morale swiftly. And soon they're going to want to run home. They're already just quite daring. So this is actually really bad for them. Really bad. Fortunately, the enemy has shown up just in time to get blitzed. With a bit of luck, I can sufficiently blitz them. Gotta get everyone over there to help deal with this, otherwise it's going to go just horribly. Probably going to go quite horribly anyway. People are only daring, so they are struggling in terms of morale. Okay, fortunately that went well. But I need everybody back up and built up for the horrors that are due to come. There we go. Finally, things might not be too bad. Wow, Jake, you're so good. You know where the enemy will attack for. Truly, you are a great player. Thanks. I think as soon as I have all 16 people of here, I'm going to replace the... That's right, I had a separate warehouse set up for pottery, didn't I? In that alternate reality that may or may not have happened. Which is good, because you're getting a little fool for pottery. So, finally making money, taxing our people as they should be. Population isn't too bad. And we have an army to defend ourselves with. In fact, you're going to be up and on the go soon enough, so I'm going to decommission these, replace you with good old legionnaires. And I can start thinking about building up another housing block. Tent City I would still really like to decommission, but at the moment it generates plenty of cash for us. Well, I'm not sure if plenty is enough. I want to generate a good bit more, so I'm going to speed up the game. The trade will flow. Well, not trade to Caesar, he's just going to have to deal with being a little concerned with me, because he wants even more wine that he's not going to get. Could send him a little gift, a Greek manuscript will keep him happy if-ish. I'll just be happier to see that. There we go. I just want to keep an eye on this to make sure everyone is getting plenty of employees. This one is not, it keeps sending people the wrong way. But as long as my food productions aren't hurting me, then I'm happy, and none of them seem to be. The Empire has changed borders. Check the map for something, something, something. Okay, not sure what I'm looking for here. That usually means that you can trade with another city. But that has not become the case for us. An interesting bit of flavour though, but I can't actually tell what Roman borders changed in the year 159 BC. Okay, so places are devolving. Reason being pottery is not supplied very well. that's not very good at all. What happened to all my pottery? Yeah, what indeed actually happened to all my pottery? Where did it all go? It's not like I export it or anything. It could be that I just need to get my clay in at another place. Okay, so due to raising the taxes, as I did, people are now indifferent towards me, probably because unemployment is so extremely high, but I like having high unemployment, so I don't see it as too bad a thing. Still going to drop the taxes for now until we sort that out. Too many people and not enough jobs for them. They took our jobs, or something like that. Not happy with those guys existing, so let's get rid of them and figure out what to do from here, because I really do want another housing block. Not so much want as I need. I need another housing block. But I know enemies come from here, and this is where I farm, so that's troubling. Means my other housing block could be here, or I just have to see what I can do with fish. Never the greatest way to look at it, but I should start thinking about fish. Oh well, it's now or never. Jake, how do you go about washing your glass? What? I don't get it. Jake, you went down one pottery after your game crashed and had to reload. Oh yeah, there's these two guys that do pretty much nothing. Let's kill them, since they do nothing for us. But yeah, supply of pottery is hurting. I do think it's because, oh boy, pottery is hurting a lot. Okay, time to put our new legionnaires to use. Slaughter them. As Mars intended. When I got that event, I thought it was because Mars was angry, but he's not angry, he is positively happy. Okay, it's kind of disappointing to see all my houses devolve around here because of lack of pottery. Sometimes I wonder if my guys just have to go too far for it. But no, I think everything will be just fine. I just need to get my pottery actually producing proper amounts. Since that was a bit of an issue. Also, you're still sending it here? I don't want it there. We'll be fine. No need to worry. That was hardly fair. Jake needs one more potter. Now we got two here. Two should be more than enough to supply all of these people. Building a third is just getting greedy. Mind you, I am greedy. How strange that pottery would be the one lacking when we're overflowing with furniture. But I'm sure it'll all explain itself in due time. They complain about lack of entertainment, but the real reason none of these are going to evolve from large insulae to grand is because there's only one food type. And I can only grow one food type. I can import grain and I can fish, but it would be such a logistical nightmare to feed these guys with it, because one, they would need so much of it, and if I yo-yo between having enough and not enough, then they're going to evolve and devolve.
Another successful voyage. The profit from this place makes the seasickness bearable.
Alright, so I got plenty of money, but I need to double my population. And I need to go about building another housing block for that. So I need to think how exactly. How? Just how much can I... I'm going to throw down the wharves first and then figure things out as we go along. There's so many places that I need to get this these wharves set up. If anything, it should come here as well. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity not building up here. A little ugly, but that's fine. Ugly things have their charm too. I need to clear up this area for more wharves. Alright, that should do it. But the thing is, everywhere needs a shipyard as well. Mind you, I could stick my shipyard right about there, and no harm will come. I can have all the wharves I want. Okay. This ain't gonna be pretty. That's just an accepted fact. But this... ugh, forget ain't pretty, it's just straight up ugly. But it is what it is. It's going to have to be connected to a block that's probably going to come along this way, because it's also going to need to be fed from wharves over there. But that's acceptable. As long as there is an engineer's post and 2 prefectures, then we'll be okay. It's also going to have to feed into a granary, which is somewhat regrettable because people have a great habit of getting lost in granaries. But again, that'll have to do. It'll need to be a gatehouse that feeds it into the general populace, of which we get some people here and some people here. Again, this ain't going to be all that pretty, but that's okay. How long is it going to be though? Well, we figured out with this at 20, what was it? Oh, that's a bad way to do it. I think it was 25, so 26 should be okay. 24 is similarly okay. People are eating more food than they're producing. General warning that you will get, but we don't need to eat it right now. It's just a little bit too much there. 1, 2, 3. Fountain. 1, 2, 3. Kill 2 of them. Replace it with a gatehouse. Gatehouses are very important for stopping walkers that you don't want going from one area to another. Very, very important. Now this time we're not going to let them all die, and we are going to give them the doctor that they need. Engineer's post and prefecture being as important as ever. A reservoir up the center would be really good as well, since that's a mistake we love to make. But we can deal with that later. And 1 prefecture is never enough. When is it ever enough? Well, heck, that one there won't do me much good. But 1 here would. So, they all settle there. Hopefully, these people get the employees they need and they can start fishing for me. And this is only going to accept fish. I have no idea how much food I'm going to be getting out of this. It probably is not going to be enough. But we'll figure it out. These people will be very unhappy because they live in tents when civilized people are living the life, living the dream. So again, we're going to need fountain upon fountain. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fountain, fountain. Probably going to stick the reservoir right in the center, so another fountain and 2 there. But a fountain, if the reservoir is going to be here, we're going to need to make way for progress. It'd be very funny if I tore down the wrong buildings there. So people just lost their homes for no good reason. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Regrettably, just a little out of range to help the last people along their way, but that's alright. Shouldn't worry about these things. Gonna stick some large statues down, just to show the world that I can afford it. Even though I really can't, but no one's keeping track, right? Would he get off my ass for half a second, please? I don't really want to give him that oil. But I do produce oil slightly faster than I need it, so he can have it for now. Right, there's an inefficiency here. It's taking longer for the cart pushers to get back than they really need. But if I set up another granary here, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. I'm going to do it anyway because living on the edge is the only way to live. But it is extremely dangerous to do that. For one, these guys might not actually get the... yeah, like this guy, he doesn't get the employees he needs whatsoever. And I hate setting up little tents just for people to get the access to employees that they need, but neither of these guys have good access to them. I wonder why that is. Oh, we got more enemies on their way. I got no idea where from. Ah, we'll be ready for them. So he comes this way, he dawdles about, and then he goes away. Which is interesting for me, because it tells me that I can build this, which should give the employees that they need. Should, might not, but it should. Just hope it works. So we have plenty of food right off the get-go. People still hate me because there's crippling unemployment in my country, but you can't worry about these things. What I can worry about is the gods hating me. They all claim to be happy, but I bet they're not happy on the inside. I'll give them an oracle, maybe even another oracle, but I'm going to tear down Neptune's temple and re-erect it right about, I don't even know, here, because why not? Again, they're going to need a couple of schools. They want entertainment, because they are not entertained. Even an amphitheater. Can't believe these guys. Picky. Very picky. Give them the library that they so claim that they deserve. Now, I'm probably not producing enough pottery still. What can I do about that? Well, the obvious answer is just produce more. Because more is more. I didn't plan this bit out very well at all. So I'm gonna have to get rid of these lovely expensive... I don't have to, I could do other things. I could do other things, he says. Workshop for pottery, 2 of. Workshop for furniture. Don't really want to stick it there because it's getting in the way for my traders, and it's very important that the traders can get to there. So 1 and 2. Again, this is just the worst layout for it, but it's what I have. So I'm going to stick a warehouse over here, and what this warehouse is going to do, hopefully it actually gets the employees it needs, is that it's going to import oil, furniture, and pottery. Actually, the oil part worries me. I don't produce nearly enough oil to keep everyone happy. I could get rid of one of these, but I'd have to tear down 2 of these. Actually, no. I think we're doing alright on the food front. I'm going to take a gamble here. But it also means I need a couple more oil workshops. Feels like I'm talking to myself here, but that's okay. If you have any questions about the game, you could just ask me, since I like to think I know a fair chunk about it, even though I'm doing embarrassingly bad at some of the basics. Don't get too much oil or the Americans will invade, Jake. Jake, Carthaginians and elephants from the southeast. Oh, that's right, I forgot they were even invading. But I'm not worried about them, because I have my incredible army to crush them. I said I could probably do with more. Well, I'll build more after the next invasion. So what I'm going to need is a whole bunch of markets, because you never have enough markets. 1, 2, 3, 4. The thing is, I could probably have a lot of buildings here. A lot. 40, I'd say. But one step at a time. Yeah, sod off, Caesar. You ain't having my wine. I don't even have any for me. He's a little concerned about me, but who's to care? Not us. So again, these places just pop into being. Like a fleet in being. And before I forget, these people need their actor colony. And they need their gladiatorial combat. It feeds gladiators and actors into the amphitheater, and actors for the regular theater. Keeps them going and gives general what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Some kind of coverage. Entertainment, that's it. Okay, so this is an excellent area to go fishing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sadly, just 4? Not even a fifth. Could potentially get more here, but I'm not worried. There should be plenty of fish here for everyone that needs it. And even though it's just 4 wars and I have many more over here, these 4 are so close to this that as long as I stick the granary very close to them, very close indeed to them. Heck, I could probably stick the granary right at the tip. And then we go like so. And then everybody there should get enough. Get the engineer post and the prefecture on the go. Good, they're all working. And it just gives an extra bit of food income so the markets can go there as well. No, okay, took a wee while for the prefecture to get up and running, but I'm confident it shall remain up and running. Okay, a real test of just how good my army is here as the Carthaginians come for another round. Check that composition. Should I be worried yet? Now these guys are extremely slow to move. Yeah, I should be worried by now. Good lord. Good lord. Okay. Engage some, but not all of them, please. That is all of them, sir. Cut them down. They're just surrounding me. That's terrifying. My armies are invincible. Getting slaughtered, sir. Getting slaughtered. Okay. You may be bold. Please retreat slightly. Reform. Take on the big stomping killing machines. So our javelins should be able to bring them down. Unstoppable. What I really like is that after battle, they'll reform. God, it looks good. So there we go, we lost about half of our forces. But that means the other half survived. Also, we are hemorrhaging money here. Probably because of that crippling unemployment I would hedge my bets on. Like that leaves them like 3 grand the past month. So let's try and make some of that back with a spot of taxes. People are going to be unhappy, but people are always unhappy. You just have to accept that in life. So hopefully we can import all the pottery and everything that we're needing. Should get these extra passages on the go so people, well, my importing guys can go there. The rabbits. Roma invincible. Okay, so thankfully we're able to import even more pottery, which is good because our lack of pottery imports have been crippling us. At least that's what I like to blame some of it on. But everything is fine around here, even though we cut back on the amount of food that was available. Our population is skyrocketing and everyone is happy. Except for the people in charge of my bank balance. They think things could be better, and they are right. I'm just going to throw a market down here, because it's nice and close to this.
There's no space for this lot anywhere in the city.
Oh, I'll make space for it. So, more enemies at the door and another distant battle. Doesn't strike me as too good when our armies are still in tatters right now. Especially if they're going to come from the north. That would be a real pain, wouldn't it? I think we'll be okay. So I believe these places are sorted out with pottery. Our unemployment is through the roof. Yeah. That means people are going to start being... They're not going to idolize me as a god anymore. They're going to, well, not be so happy about things. But that's people. People are never properly happy, are they? Okay, the time has come for baths. Should be enough to get everything fully up and on the go. So we'll just stick it down and see what happens. Oh, even more lumber as well. This is looking great for our prosperous city. They want oil, they get oil. And again, some of the little ones I'm just going to squeeze like they are zits, because I'm only interested in 2x2s. Not enough entertainment strikes me. It's a very strange problem for you guys to have. There we go. Got your entertainment and pow. This is looking good. This is looking better than good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 2, 3, 4. I could stick down a lot more than that. 24, 25. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I knew there was something fishy about that prefecture that I erected there. I never liked it, and I'm getting rid of it. He spent too much time faffing about over here, so one of my oracles burned down. Nay bad. Really though. Just really. Okay, Oracle, come back, please. What you can do is you can shove little statues to make sure that people, or rather buildings, evolve the way you want them to. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So that one evolves into there, this one will evolve into here when I delete that statue. This one, again, will evolve there when I delete this one. And I wonder how I have the range on you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you will. That's good. It's nice to be in control. Bear in mind my only population requirement was 6,000. So I think we'll be a-okay here. If if Caesar would just sod off for a while. Now I could actually start making wine. It would not be too difficult. It would be the opposite of difficult, and it would get him off my back. Also, somebody wants to buy my wine, don't they? Is it you? It is you, actually. You buy wine. Jings, I could have been making tons of money off of this ages ago. Well, no time to start, but now... So if I check the risks of natives... Yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of these ones and these ones. But that's okay. Could probably just deal with these guys all together and I'd be fine. So... let's just get rid of all of this. Keeping the trees there, because they're a nice natural defense against the enemy. I'm going to pop up here and here, but I want to be just ready with some vines. Oh, well, before I'm building vines and all that, got to make sure I have my missionary on the go. That it doesn't work like that. I want to have it so that my mission post and my vineries all work nicely together. So this is kind of a nice go through the middle point. Get our mission post right there. That should give them the range to hit up both these guys. And then I will just put a little outpost. A tiny little one. Actually, I don't have I don't have we'll tame them first and we'll figure out the rest. Natives again though. That's bad because I have enemies at the door. I have enemies at the door that are probably going to invade at roughly the same time. I would if I were them. So these enemies at the door, they're a tiny mob, we'll take them down. What is with this? Oh, well, that could be it. They were never linked up to begin with. One wonders how that even happens. Okay, there was nothing to that. Let's just get everyone back home. Didn't even lose a soldier. The food situation here looks acceptable. Jake, the Fish Wharf sector is unconnected to the city. Yep, we know that now, don't we? Oh, hell, I hope it's good. It's not where I dreaded it being. What I do dread is that you guys aren't home yet. And your health is only very good. It could be better. I sure hope this isn't as savage as the previous ones, because I'm barely ready to take it on. Eight of you, 7 of you. Oh well. Hop to it, my brave soldiers. This is too early. My shock troops are not yet in position, but... Ugh, no. Ugh, no. Take him down, lads. Where... Oh. The losses will be big, but we must seek glory. Phew. Now this is where the multiple barracks exploit really comes in handy, because you can recuperate your losses so quickly, but I told myself not to resort to that, so I won't. Let's let our buildings pop into where they should be. Again, they feel... No clinic? No hospital? That can't be right. I know the doctor is far away, but he should be getting to you. There he goes. What are you moaning about? Some people just are born to moan, I swear. Looking good. I love how there's no reaction from the civilians to the massive elephant battle happening outside of town. That was one thing that Stronghold had over this game. People did react to battles going on outside of the town. There's still a distant battle that's due to happen, but that's not our problem at the moment. Might be our problem in the future. That's a problem for future Jake. Plenty of water going on here. So I feel confident about getting another couple of large insulae on the go here. I think we're going to do just fine in terms of feeding, clothing, and all the other inging these guys. Because large 2x2 buildings like this, these only consume as much as a 1x1 when it comes to pottery and furniture. That is to say, if these were 4 individual casas, they would consume 4 times as much pottery as this beautiful 2x2. So I think everything's just going to be a-okay here. Jake, what is the goal of this map? 6,000 population. And I want to have most of my guys in large insulae. Oh, that's right, I was going to be sorting you guys out. So the risk of native problem is now completely gone, at least in this region. So I can start making vines. Caesar is bound to get unhappy with me. Well, that's assuming that I can't get enough going in 15 months. I think even someone as incompetent as I can manage that. Especially if I spam them. So, workshops for wine, lots of. 1, 2... I wonder if there's a better way that I can be doing this, like if I bring it around here. Still being careful not to destroy the natural defense I have. If you double click by accident, you can't undo what you just did, so I try to be careful about that, but I often fail. Nothing new there though, huh? I'm generous enough that I actually want these guys to live a life of relative luxury, so I'm going to stick a granary over here, and I'm going to feed them some fruit. Yum, yum. And we'll get our warehouse on the go. Nothing but wine, but it'll be good to export some. Still, this will get 8 wine workshops on the go, so this should be able to eat into a little bit of our overwhelming amounts of unemployment. At least a little bit of it. Hail, I can see there's a lot of work to be done. Teaching these barbarians the merits of Rome's benevolence. I'm so glad to be Roman. See what these barbarians get up to in there.
Hail! I can see there's a lot of work to be done teaching these barbarians the merits of Rome's benevolence.
Not going to get very far with these guys if we don't have a prefecture or 2 and an engineer's hut. Alright, I would really like it if these merged into 2x2s. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens. Sadly, that is not happening there. It's not quite random, but it might as well be unless you really know how to work it. But I want I'll get my 2x2s by hook or by crook. I'll just throw houses down here until I get them. Nice to get loads of wine on the go, though. Strangely enough, though, no employees for you. That's something I can sort, though. Don't you worry, girly. I wonder if there's enough space to do my little aqueduct trick. Might be a bit of a push. Yeah, I think I could do it, but I'm not going to. Forget that. It's too much effort. I did it back in Lugdunham. I don't feel like retreading that old ground again. You gotta be careful about disconnecting people completely. So I'm always super paranoid about punching holes in my aqueducts, allowing people to walk through. So considering that we have 1, 2, and that should feed 320 people, I can have... What does a casa give anyway? I think it's 50 people in a... Yeah, 50. So we can have 6 2x2s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if anything's single, knock it down. Like so. Done and done right. Okay, with 1 month left to comply, we can send Caesar's bloomin' request for wine. And now we are going to be exporting anything over 16 of them, so we're ready for the next Moni Gits request. A wee marketplace to get rid of all those. Oh, I forgot about these, didn't I? Alright. Vaska 2 of these. And we'll get our other fountain here. And these happy-go-lucky fellows can have, I don't know, a large statue right there. And an oracle. And everyone's happy. Slap in another medium statue. See, everyone is hunky-dory. They want their religious facilities, they always do, so we'll let Mercury be the guiding light. We'll give them the library, because they're always going to want one. And just to rout out any suspicions of favoritism, goodbye Mercury. Ah, shoot, that's the last place I needed you. I'm not even going to wait for these guys to arrive. I need these guys very dead. So I'm just going to throw everything I've got at them. Because that is very cruel of the mission to put a... Okay, didn't even need it. The local barbarians are very easy to kill. And they didn't take down many of ours with it. Jake, don't worry, that was your last request from Caesar. Why, thank you, Lutruck. See, we have someone here that knows the game well. I can throw down a theatre here. I don't even need to supply it with actors because it gives out a base of 10. 10 what? 10... I keep forgetting the word. Entertainment. 10 entertainment. And that'll keep people happy enough. It claims that oracles need road access. They really don't. They really do. Okay, thank goodness. Thought it might be the north again. My shock troops again are just returning from battle. Hopefully this isn't big and horrible like I suspect it is. Oh well. Alright, we are too short, but that's okay. I'm confident that we will easy there. Need my troops into position. Not a moment too soon. Alright, this is more ideal. Legionnaires take the front, because it takes a lot to kill one, even with elephants involved. And with that, I lost what? I lost 2 Legionnaires, and that's it. It's a lot better. By the way, how angry are people with my taxes? They're only slightly unhappy with me, because again, I keep my unemployment sky high. We're going to kill taxes for a little bit. And just as planned, we have all casas here. I like to keep my people fed, what can I say? I know it's unbecoming of me, but it's what I do. And I think we have plenty of food around here and no such issues. And since...
I don't know why I bother with this route. They don't buy anything or have anything they want to sell me.
Ignoring that rude person over there. I don't think we have any problems around here, and as long as I keep it less than 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31. I can add 8 or 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, throw down some medium statues as well. Just so that when people evolve, they do it on my terms. And that is important to me. Of course, they're not going to be evolving or anything unless I give them their much desired water. Don't know why people are so needy sometimes, but they just are. And they'll want some large statues because these are Romans we're talking about. The ever picky guys that they are. This guy, for example, he's really quick on the buzz. Boom. Just feels good. This guy, though. Oh, they're waiting on oil, so I better not jump the gun here. There we go. Ah, it's like gardening. Feels good. It'll feel better when they start giving me decent amounts of taxes here. So I was off by a long shot. I'm not going to have anywhere near enough food for these guys unless I throw down another fruit farm. And that I can do. And people are going to be less unimpressed with me when I start tearing down the tent village around here. But I don't really want to tear it down. I think it makes a nice... oh, I don't even know what to say. Whatever the case, I want it to still be here. I'm going to tear down our barracks, that's what we're going to do. Going to reposition it over here. Same with our military academy, even though that's very expensive too. I don't think we need to go that far. How many wharves can I stick here? 1. That's paltry. I want another. Throw our shipyard over here and stick our wharf here. What I want to do is I actually want to keep this all functioning. Come hell or high water. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change out all of this. And I'm going to connect you here via a gatehouse, as I oft do. Gatehouses are ugly. I prefer solutions where I don't have to use them, but I'm bad at planning around them unless I use figure of 8. And figure of 8 works great for me, but I hate using the same thing over and over, so I try not to. Also, I'm not convinced about this. I want an extra prefecture. I often do. Especially if I'm going to be chucking down a granary. Right on this corner. So why am I doing all this? It's because these tents have got to go. I'm going to start tearing them down because I just saw a guy lighting up a torch here because he's really angry. We can find out just how angry. Risks problems. No, that's the wrong one. Crime.
No sign of crime around here.
Maybe I'm imagining it. But people in tents are very unhappy when everybody else in the city is doing A-OK. And everyone else really is doing A-OK. Everyone else has plenty of food. So I'm going to turn this into pretty much a memoirs. Memoirs for the place we used to have here. What do I import from here as well? Okay, they don't sell me food, which was the main thing I was looking for there. Jake, you can fit a wharf right next to the entrance of your city at the edge of the map. Well spotted there. I like you. Getting a little long this path here, but I think it should be okay. It's the granary that really mucks things up in terms of getting employees, but that's alright. Point is, these guys have gotta go, most of them. Unless you're a 2x2, then I might consider sparing you. But I need to torch tents because they cost me pretty dearly when it comes to... yeah, that. Resurrect oracles where they once stood as a mark of respect. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, and failing badly at, is that tents murder your prosperity. Your prosperity only ticks up slowly if you fit the right criteria, and it's high enough, but it can be higher. Having tents just kills it too much. So we're getting rid of most of our tents here. We're gonna get as many... Okay, apparently no employees nearby, so perhaps I did not position my granary as well as I could have. Yeah, he still says no employees nearby. How can I sort this out? I could have the granary in a better position, but that's easier said than done. Could stick the granary down here, might be a better solution overall. Dangerous, but at least people that get to it will get access to employees. See if I can go and do one, frankly. And again, they kill my sound with that. I don't remember that being a problem when I was playing this game as a kid, but there's a lot of things I don't remember about being a kid. Throw in that reservoir right there. Aqueduct it up. And get some water for the people. Not many people, granted, but some of them. Still no employees nearby for you. You send out the guy to hunt for employment along this way, and he just doesn't seem to do well. I really don't want to give him his oil. It eats into the oil that I have. So Caesar's just gonna have to, like I said, do one. Okay, that wharf is doing us no favors. Okay, it's probably a terribly inefficient setup I have for food here, but this is what we're gonna have. And they'll get their school, and they'll get their theater. See, I'm such a nice guy. Don't know why I'm so nice sometimes. And they're going to want their access to Mercury, I suppose. If I'd lived in that hellhole for so long, I too would want... Why did I say Mercury? I would want some Venus love on my side. I'm just going to tear that down. Tear down the wells, there's no need for them. They'll just be happy. If you supply food to someone, there's absolutely no reason not to get them up to small castle level. No reason at all. Food is much harder than any of the other things. Oh, you better not be where I don't want you to be, but you're not. So we're okay. Chings, I've been at this one mission for a while, and I'm not even doing a particularly special job of it. Granted, I could have settled for something much easier. The prosperity rating only asks for casas. Okay, they're wasting their time killing zebras for me. They're flanking me, but that's okay. Have you... Yes, I have completely forgotten about your request, because I don't care. I'm so confident. I can just take you down with my legionnaires. The rest of you, just Gingham. That is, unless they come in really quickly, then I'm going to be in a spot of bother. Let's have you guys as defense. Zone defense, boys. Let's stop the goers. Oh, they really do want me. They really do. I should not have been so cocky. Oh well, little I can do now, but accept my foe. Shoot. See? No problem. No problem at all. Actually, that hurts my peace rating when they go and smash things down. But that's alright. Well, they're going to hurt my population, which is not alright. So what are they taking out? A market? Now, let's get everyone back home so I can actually see what they've done here. Market and market. And a large statue. I think they took out a couple of fountains, which is what's causing a whole bunch of devolutions. And I imagine quite a few people laughing at me at the moment for being too cocky. Too cocky to live. There we go. See? Nothing to worry about. All comes back just like that. Except for this guy who's too far away from a water supply, so let's get him a bit closer. Wait, that doesn't work at all, does it? No entertainment, huh? Did I lost a theater there, didn't I? I probably mischecked something, but oh well. Here, no, that doesn't make sense. You do have enough entertainment, you're just being fussy. Did I lose something else and not realize it? Yes, yes I did. I lost a gatehouse. There we go. Never ever let people march in and destroy your city, or else bad things like this happen. There we go. Got it all right back up there. I want to just make sure I don't have any 1x1s, and we're good to keep going. Some devolutions here, which isn't good. Kind of tells me I'm short on food, so I have too many buildings here. I was overly ambitious with what I set up. So this is one of the annoying things. You can build a building, but sometimes it just sends all of its walkers out in the direction you don't want them to go in. And you're just gonna have to build around that. There are ways to figure out which way they're gonna walk, but they are too complicated for my fragile little mind. Okay, with all these buildings back up, they'll be getting their workers back in there. Unemployment is a little high, but people pretty much worship me, so I'll tax them a little bit for it. Jake, give the ex-tent plebs a bathhouse. They don't deserve one. But I'm going to need to get my culture rating. No, culture rating is fine. The only thing I lack is population, and we will get that any minute now if we just speed through. Loads of money, loads of prosperity. And everybody is fed. That's the one thing I really like in my cities. I am very unhappy with myself as an architect if there's anybody not fed in my city. Very, very unhappy. And culture is actually down a bit because I lack academies. Culture is the one thing I struggle with, and I've never figured out how to properly gain culture in this without just building loads of culture buildings towards the end. There we go. Easy as pie.
Thanks to your brilliant performance, the Carthaginian menace is finally behind us forever. Our old enemies are now loyal Roman citizens. At least those who can still draw breath.
1444 can't come fast enough, so there we go. A bit of a bumpy ride, but we got through it. So, Tarsus and Tingus.